happens when that occurs? Pretend this is a fat cell. Here's your body out here, you got this fat cell. You're doing your best to get rid of the fat that's in there. So toxic stuff builds up in there, the AMA, yep, as Dr. Chaudhry mentioned. So as you go on a diet, the water-soluble toxins can get out, out of your body more readily from. They begin to pour out. And you're pretty happy about that. But guess what happens? At the end of it all, once you've poured out the watery stuff, there's still junk left in there. See it in there? It won't come out all the way. It gets stuck. It's these fat-soluble toxins that get stuck behind. That's what this AMA is. It's stubborn, and it hangs out in the worst place. You can't get rid of it. Dr. Chaudhry, if you can hold that.
Absolutely. I'll hold your fat.
I hold my fat. Thank you. Now, what Dr. Chaudhry's arguing is that Ayurvedic techniques can help you fight the fat by making most of it into this liquid. So the toxins get poured out of your body effortlessly. That means all the stuff comes out of you, including the AMA that she mentioned earlier. So when you're done, you've emptied out your cells completely. So let's compare the two. One of them has a lot of fat in it. The other one is emptied out. The question is, how do you go from this to this? How do you go from just working harder to working smarter? How do you go from doing a diet that, for whatever reason, just isn't working for you, to being able to create an environment in your body where you can get rid of all that fat more effortlessly? So how common is this a scenario?
This is common. We all have this challenge. Anybody who's got a few pounds to lose where it's resistant fat, you can't get rid of it, you're dealing with a toxin issue, not a discipline issue.
And what kinds of results can you expect in practice, because you take care of patients, when you use Ayurvedic techniques to burn away the fat?
Well, the nice thing is the results are long-lasting, and it's amazing what we see. We see people shedding dress sizes, even up to 80 pounds of weight loss. And again, the big thing is that most of the patients who come to me are not weight loss patients. They come in because they have migraine headaches, they have fatigue, they have irritable bowel, and they come in going, oh my gosh, this weight is just melting off. What are you doing? And that's when I mentioned, by the way, side effects may include significant weight loss.
Which is fabulous.
Right.
All right, let's get started with the first Ayurvedic fat fighter. This is, again, something that you can do on your own. It's readily available to us in this country. So what is it?
This is my Ayurvedic fat fighting tea. I love this tea. I make it 3 times a week myself, and everything is available in your grocery store. And what this tea actually does is open the channels up in your body so that this fat, this AMA, can start to pass through it.
So walk me through exactly how you make this.
Really easy. It's just a half a teaspoon of cumin seeds, half a teaspoon of coriander seeds, half a teaspoon of fennel seeds. You're going to add this into a boiling pot of about 4 to 5 cups of water. You strain the liquid out. And the key thing here is put it in a thermos so that it stays hot, because the heat is actually working with the ingredients in the tea. And you just take small sips all through the day. I have this lying on my desk at work, and I'm just sipping it in between patients.
You use this in your practice and for yourself personally?
I use this personally, so while I'm working, the tea is working to get rid of my fat.
All right, next is a fat fighter that many of you have not thought of, but it's to add curry powder to each meal. But this is not just regular old curry.
No, so people don't usually think about curry powder as a weight loss method, but in Ayurvedic medicine there are 6 tastes. And the American diet, the average American diet, usually gets things that are salty, sour, and sweet, but it's missing 3 other tastes: astringent, pungent, and bitter. And those tastes are important to have in your meals to feel satiated, feel full, as well as to improve your digestion. So rather than trying to figure out how you're going to get all the 6 tastes in every single meal, just add curry powder. And I really recommend making your own, because the curry powder you typically get at stores is full of chilies. And so that one taste overpowers all of the other tastes. But if you don't want to do this, you can look online for churnas, Ayurvedic churnas, and that is made specifically for digestion. But if you want to do it, which is what I recommend, all you need is a few simple ingredients: some bay leaves, mustard seeds. This is fenugreek seeds, really, really good for digestion, especially for fighting gas. Coriander seeds and cumin seeds, and you'll notice that some of these ingredients are used over and over because they're so good for improving the digestive fire, or Agni. Cloves, cinnamon sticks, and all you do is blend this in a little blender, like a coffee blender, and at the end add a couple of teaspoons of turmeric powder, and you have your curry powder.
So listen, we have put this recipe online, and here's my plea to so many of you out there, because you guys are out there changing the world. That's who our viewers are. Folks, make this stuff and give it to your family and friends. It's about the best present you can ever give anybody. It's not difficult to make. It's inexpensive. These ingredients are available everywhere. Once you got the blender out, blend the darn stuff up,
Right.
make a bunch of these things, and don't worry about presents from now on. People are going to thank you forever because you got them to lose so much weight. Now, the next fat fighter is something that's actually more of a strategy that's something you're going to add in your diet.
Yes.
It's to eat 50% of your daily calories at lunch. So why are we putting the majority of our food in the middle of the day?
I love this about Ayurvedic medicine because it's kind of like hitting the easy button in weight loss. It's not just the number of calories you eat, it's when you're eating it. Lunchtime is when your digestion is naturally at its strongest. So it's the meal that should be the largest. And what's the meal that most people skip? It's lunch.
Yep.
Dinner is when your digestion is its weakest. So it can't even digest what you're eating. And that's when most people are eating their heaviest meal. Anything you eat past 7 p.m., you might as well tape to your butt because that's where it's going.
All right. And there's a lot of data on this, by the way. I mean, it's true for thousands of years in Ayurvedic healing techniques, but new information has shown us over and over again that the later you eat, those calories count extra against you than the calories earlier in the day. So give me a typical day's calorie distribution. How would an average person do this if they're under your care?
What you want to do is shift 50% of your calories at lunch. So for breakfast, eat something really easy and light, like oatmeal. This is usually my breakfast, is oatmeal with some raisins and cinnamon. If you want to do egg whites, because egg yolk is too heavy as your first meal, or just do fresh fruit. And then when you go to your lunch, go to town. That's when you should have your heaviest things. Have your cheese, have your fries, have your chicken burger, and have your cake. And most of my friends who see me eat look at me and go, how on earth are you thin? And it's because they see what I eat at lunch. I don't eat like that for the rest of the day. I eat like that when I know my body can actually burn it off.
And finally, dinner, also 25%.
Dinner, very, very small, easy to digest foods. And you don't take my word for it. Do it. Do an experiment. Don't change your calories at all. Just shift them around where you're eating your heaviest things at lunch, your lightest thing at dinner, and you're going to lose weight easily.
All right. Coming up next, Dr. Chad reveals the super fat-fighting herb from India that can help you drop pounds. Don't worry, it is super easy to find it here. We're back with Dr. Kuri Chowdhury, and she's revealing the best Ayurvedic fat fighters. The next fat fighter is something she calls the super fat-fighting herb, Triphala. What is Triphala?
Triphala is a fundamental Ayurvedic herb. It's the one herb that I think every American should be on. It's made out of 3 berries. It's a dried up 3 berries. And the 3 berries are amalaki, haritaki, and bibitaki. Amalaki is an antioxidant, and it is wonderful getting rid of inflammation in your body and increasing lean body mass, as well as helping to control your blood sugar. Your body looks at sugar the same way it looks at fat. After sugars get up to a certain point, your body will store them as fat. Haritaki is a wonderful berry for getting rid of toxins in the colon, which is, again, one of the most important organs for preventing it from turning into ama. And bibitaki is an herb that just gets rid of all of the extra water and fat in your cells.
Well, I was curious about this. I had not heard of Triphala before.
Which surprised me.
And we've talked about so many different things on the show, but how it slipped through the cracks, I don't know. But I had the medical unit research into it, and there's actually been studies done. I mean, typical high-quality medical studies. And guess what? In this big study we saw, 10 pounds were lost per person over 12 weeks. They did everything else the same, but they lost about a pound a week extra than they would have lost. So the question then becomes, how do I get it? and how do I mix it up? What's the best way to take it? Walk us through the details.
The best and the strongest way to take Triphala is as a powder. Not always the easiest way to take it, but it's definitely the most effective. And I came up with my own little Triphala treat, if you will. But this is how I actually take Triphala at my house. I get about a half a cup of warm water, add half a teaspoon of Triphala powder, which is what we have here, a teaspoon of psyllium husk, as well as a teaspoon of ground flaxseed, and that just helps you to get your insoluble fiber. Mix it all together and swallow. Say a prayer and then swallow.
Oh. Now I know we haven't talked about it before.
All right.
It's really not a treat for the mouth, is it?
For you Ayurvedic newbies, you can go straight to the pill, which is just as effective and a lot easier on the tongue.
This maybe I'll go with. And you say we have to take it at night?
Yes, Ayurvedic herbs are given depending on the type of action you want. And so Triphala is taken at night because that is when it's most powerful in its detoxing activities. You just take 2 tablets at night about an hour before you go to bed.
Yeah, I got to say, I have to thank you for this, because there are a lot of folks who are going to benefit, I think. Now that I've seen the research, and I appreciate the understanding, and for a lot of us who have been thinking again about just running harder into that wall of weight loss, the idea that we can use a tradition 1,000 years old without physicians being upset about the results is encouraging. All right, coming up, Dr. Chaudhary has one more Ayurvedic technique to lose weight. Find out how this can help fight your fat. That is next. Ayurvedic treatment that you can do at home. So, Dr. Chaudhary, the anticipation is growing. What is it?
This is called Garshana. It's a massage you can do yourself using raw silk. And I love the different approaches in Ayurvedic medicine for fighting fat. What this massage actually does is increase circulation and helps with lymphatic flow so that you can get rid of that fat once you break it down.
So Dr. Chaudhary is going to show us raw silk massage. Dana is going to go first. How are you, Dana?
Fine, thank you.
Are you nervous, Dana?
A little bit.
So I understand you want to tone your arms.
Yes.
So Dr. Chaudhary, how would you do this?
So I just happened to bring my own set of massage gloves here. And so what you do is just slip your gloves on, and they have a little bit of an abrasive surface, which you want because, you know, this isn't some gentle massage. It's a vigorous massage, and it actually helps to energize the tissues. But what you want to do for your arms, I'm going to have you just hold them out just a little bit.
Okay.
Everywhere you're round, you're going to go in circles, okay? So again, it's not a gentle massage.
I'll
You
push
want to
into
be...
her. Go.
Yeah, hold
Really?
her, hold her
Put your
down.
back into
That's
it.
right. And everywhere you're long, you're going up and down, up and down, up and down. And you can kind of already see just the discoloration of the skin. I'm starting to get more blood flow, it's getting more red, and then same thing at the elbows, you go round, 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 and then wherever it's long, you go up and down, up and down, up and down. And you don't need me to come home with you to do this. You can do this on your own with your own set of gloves. So
Great.
go ahead and do the other arm with that set.
Okay, great.
How did it feel when Dr. Chaudhary was doing that?
Felt invigorating.
It does.
Yeah, I liked it.
And so again, this is used for specific areas of the body that are bothering you.
You can do your entire body, or you can focus on particular areas, but get into it. Really get
Okay.
into it. Push yourself around a little bit.
Get the manual, like to really work on this a little bit. All right, let's go. How much do these gloves cost, by the way?
These are cheap. They're about $20, and you just throw them into the wash and wash it just like you would know your normal clothes.
And where do you find them?
You can get them online.
Pretty easy.
Yeah.
And they're called Ayurvedic massage gloves?
You can do raw silk massage gloves or Garshana massage gloves. And, you know, worst case scenario, you get an loofah sponge that's kind of rough as well, and you can do it with that.
So the next type of massage is for digestion.
Yes.
And it's done on the stomach.
Yes.
Welcome. Thanks for sacrificing yourself. Maru is going to give us the right to do this. Go ahead and show us what we do here.
Thank you.
I'll hold her down.
Yes, please do. This is an area that every woman wants to lose weight.
Yes.
And what we do with this massage, and thank you so much, I know this takes a lot of courage to do this on national TV. What we're going to do is first go around in circles because this actually stimulates digestion, okay? This is the normal movement for digestion. And then what you want to do is go across, again, vigorously, okay? And then up and down, and then same on the sides. This is, you know, you should be getting like a little bit of a workout with this because it really is supposed to move the tissue around, okay?
You can have this done in a spa, obviously, as well.
You can. If it's an Ayurvedic spa, they will absolutely have this, and in place of gloves, they'll actually use specific materials to do the massage.
Well, I'm going to leave this with you as a token of my appreciation.
Thank you, Dr. Oz.
All right, when we come back, a food pioneer whose simple food rules will revolutionize how your whole family